Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to a brand new series on my channel. My name is Luke Triton and this is the first of a look at some Nerf blasters. This isn't review, so to say, because all of the blasters are going to be covering, or at least most of these blasters are going to be old and other people have done reviews at the time of them coming out. And if you want better details, you can go to other people's reviews and get better details there. But the idea of this series is to take some of the Nerf blasters that I really loved, I really enjoyed using, and this is a way of saying, would you buy these now? Because these are older ones, it's kind of interesting to compare them to future blasters or some of the other ones that came out around its time. A lot of people would have these, but some people don't, and there are some people, like myself with a couple of these as well, that would conflict with themselves and say, is it still worth picking this up because of the price and how easy it is to find one of these, and there's a few of the details. So we're going into that. You've already seen what blaster I'm going to be playing with in the thumbnail, but one thing I want to quickly say before we get into this video. It's very hot and sunny today, so this window is closed. You can see big gap of light there. I'm having to kind of hold it down because this blind's actually broken. Fan is on as well because, again, it's very hot today. If you hear that in the background, I'm so sorry, but the way that I kind of set up my room and with all the other things that I do on my channel, it's really difficult for me to try and get a good recording spot because I've never done something like this before. Having to stand in front of my camera and actually show my face is a bit terrifying, it got to be said. But yeah, there is that. There's also a blocked off area on the side there. You can't actually see it because it's off camera, but I tried to record this yesterday in the same weather conditions because it's still very hot today. But it was just like this whole sort of area of the screen here where my hand was, it was just very bright. You couldn't see anything and it was difficult. So this is probably the best setup I can get. I'm going to try and record another video after this one, but I'll probably have to charge my phone up because, as always, I'm recording these videos with my phone, and so quality is going to be a bit bad. So this area as well, it's sort of busy area, I think the best term for it is. It's going to look bad, it's going to be bad quality, and I know, I'm sorry, you could see that in the live Lego build videos that I do as well. But the reason why it's so bad is because I'm actually looking at the screen right now. The phone is backwards, so to say, so I'm using the front camera instead of the better camera. That's because I know this is in focus, well, in better focus than it would be with the other camera. And I say that again because if I turn this around, the camera can focus itself or unfocus itself, so everything can go soft and fuzzy, and I won't know that. So doing it like this, I can absolutely see it, and then I know we can make a better video. So with a huge intro done, let's go into the blaster for the video. Now, Stampede ECS. My god, what a blaster. Who didn't have one of these, right? This is pre-elite, as you can tell, because it is yellow. This was released in late 2010. This was Toy of the Year of its year, I think it was. It was brilliant. Beating other companies like Lego. This was so fucking cool. So yes, this is the first of its kind. It's battery operated, magazine fed, fully automatic. And it is so damn cool. Even just holding this now. Good old days. Good old days. Now this is also the only one of its kind in a mechanical feature, because all the blasters that succeeded this one had flywheels. This has, as far as I understand it, because I never really took blasters apart, I wasn't really a modder. I will be modding stuff in the future when it comes to Nerf, but before now, I never really modded. So, looking at the internals, it worked in the same way as another blaster. Say for the Raider, for example, because I've got a Raider down here. You hold it here, you pump it, and then you pull the trigger, and that would be how you would prime it and fire it. With this, you put your magazine in, you flick the switch there, and then you pull the trigger, and that same action happens. It's the equivalent to pumping it and pulling the trigger. Well, slam fire specifically as well. Well, that's how I think it works. It's very different, very weird compared to how, again, modern blasters are operated, because flywheel blasters nowadays have the flywheel chamber here, and a special pokey thing that pushes the dart into the chamber. Newer blasters have a conveyor belt, which I think is very cool. I've got the two blasters that use that as well. Again, they will be appearing in the series, but now we're going to focus on this. So the blaster did come with two attachments. The amazing shield that I still use for all of my as many blasters as I can. The shape for this sort of attachment piece, this arch piece here, it's very weird, and it doesn't like going on any other blaster except for the Stampede, because it is obviously shaped to sit on the Stampede like this. And the best bipod and grip of its time, well, the only one of its time, I should say. The grip bipod, 2-in-1 piece, very cool. Most people had this with the 18 round stick mags that came with it. Sadly, I couldn't find one where it came with all of the stick mags. People especially these days, they would sell the 18 dart magazines for like £10 each, which is so stupid. Thankfully I was able to get one of the 6 dart mags on the one that I bought. Who still uses these? Even if you're a sniper, use the 12 ones, right? Come on. But yes, this was one of the ones that you got, and this was just so much fun. The only drum magazine that was available at the time as well was the one that came with the Raider, which I can't actually find. Well, don't worry about that. But yes, it was really cool just to have. What I did was I always put my bipod at the front, big drum there, and you just go in tank mode. It was so damn cool. Well, you kind of had to put your bipod grip there anyway, because if you had the drum magazine and you tried to hold the grip here, you kind of had to stick your arm outwards like this. It was so weird, so uncomfortable. Oh, good God. Oh, good old times though, it's gotta be said. Another thing, if you're one of those people that had your shield up here, you were a wimp. There's no two ways about it. That means you held this here, not because you wanted to have something to protect your face whilst you're looking down sights, you wanted something to protect your face, full stop. You did not like going into Nerf wars, and you wanted this, not because it was automatic, but because it had the shield. I used to do Nerf wars when I was younger, and whenever I had people around my house during my school days, they saw this and they said, "Oh, can I use that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, go on then, you know, I use this anyway, so you may as well have a bit of fun." And they always kind of tuck themselves behind the shield. I swear to God, like shoulder mounted, tuck themselves behind the shield. I was like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I don't want to get hit." I was like, "That's the point of the game. Take a bullet." Well, not a bullet, a dart, but yeah. Take a dart to the face. Who hasn't taken a dart to the face? Dart to the eyes, my God. The maintenance on this thing was so weird as well. I don't know if anybody ever had this, but let me just quickly, let me put the shield back on. I don't know why I took that off. So this is what it sounds like, and this is how fast it fires. So brace yourself, this is a volume warning. Turn it down now, okay? You've been warned. Ready? Here we go. So that, at its time when this came out, wasn't too bad. It was 2 darts per second. And this has brand new batteries in it. Oh my God, when I got back into Nerf again, I swear to God, I lost my mind about the cost of the batteries. Even trying to find them as well, I was like, oh my God, there's like £10 for a pack of batteries. These are D batteries in here. 6 of them. It's really, what would you call that? Back heavy? Rear heavy? Sure. But yeah, all the weight was here. So you kind of had to use that grip to keep it balanced. It was really weird. But yeah, it was kind of weird having to keep this thing maintained, because so many times with my first Stampede, this is my second one, the doors, or not the doors, the mechanism inside here kind of failed a few times. I had to replace the batteries quite often. There were problems with the mechanism inside here, so I'd always have to take out the magazine and kind of, well, I never got to the point where I had to unscrew the blaster. That was a good thing. If you had to unscrew your blaster to fix it, then you've definitely done some damage. I want to take these off now because it's getting a bit annoying. I'll just chuck that behind there. There we go. So yeah, opening up the jam door, you can get an idea of what the internal mechanism is. I'm now looking at the screen on the phone. That's the camera, that's the screen, so there we go. So if at any point I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm looking at the screen, just so I know everything's going okay. You can see the details going on in there. Actually get it in, there we go. One thing I love as well, and more blasters need this, that clear door. Look at that, that's so good. Well, not clear door, but yeah, you know what I mean. That window, that's the word. But every so often, with my original one, back to the original point, when I was firing this, every few Nerf wars we had, I never abused my one. And the people that I had round, they were fair, you know, they didn't bash this around. There were times where they rushed around the corner and accidentally knocked the blaster, but that was okay. They were spring ones as well, so you can bash them around as much as you want. But this had failures. It would just slow down, it would start to get a bit worn down. I thought, what's going on? And things would get really sticky. I went through so much WD-40, especially with the drum magazine as well, but that was his own problem. Just to try and get this thing to feed and work properly. And every time I opened up the jam door and had a look inside, I'm there, oh, what's going on? I get a strain, well, not a strain, but a strong whiff of WD-40. It was awful. Thankfully, such a mechanism isn't used today because obviously flywheels are getting better. Flywheel master race from a certain other Nerf YouTuber. But I agree with that. I mean, come on, if you're not using an automatic blaster, what the fuck's wrong with you? So, to the point of the video. This series is made with the intent of going over some older blasters and deciding whether it's worth picking one of these up. Now, for the Stampede, it's odd for me to give an answer. I do have a yes or no answer ready, but just before I say it, this was, and kind of still is, my favourite blaster ever by Nerf. If I move over a little bit so I can actually get a good shot. I mean, whilst you held this, you felt so good. I mean, come on, even without the attachments. Let's get them back on, actually. Go on, then. So if we get this... I've also got, tell you what, just to big things up a little bit more. Raven mag. Ah. So not quite what it would look like with an 18 dart magazine, because it's a different colour. But this, straight out of the box, that's what you were working with. Ooh-wee. Come on. That's cool. So if you were a big fan of Nerf back in 2010, you bought one of these and you were playing with one of these. I'm pretty sure that some people said, don't bring a Stampede, that's not fair. But yet you still bought them anyway, right? I mean, come on. And it's just, it was such a cool blaster, but it's so out of date now. So here's what I would say. As a yes or no answer, if you don't have one, should you buy one? No. Honestly, it's not worth it. Apparently, there have been rumours going around for a fair whack of time that this is coming out in a new Icon series. This is being released, but if so, I'll put this right because I'm pre-recording all of these videos. So let's say the Icon series does come out, and this is a thing. I would say yes, grab one of them because obviously the internals would have been updated and it would have performed so much better. But don't go out your way to try and get a 2010 model because, again, it's out of date, it's not really worth getting, it's not competitive anymore. It's just, there are better blasters out there. I mean, come on. If you're a collector and you don't have one, then fair enough, you may as well get one. But all in all, I would not waste your time trying to get one of these. If you can try and get the attachments, however, if you can find someone who's selling the shield and the bipod, go for them because everybody loves attachments. I would love to see modulus versions of these. Oh, well, they already did actually. They got the two there was a flip-up clear one that was absolutely tiny. It was about this sort of size. It's only rubbish. And they've got loads of grips and another bipod for the modulus line as well, mainly for snipers. So, actually they have, but, oh, Nerf, come on. You need this shape again. I mean, this is the best shield. I mean, come on. But yes, as a yes or no answer, should you buy this one? No. There are better options out there. Nerf blasters are getting better every year, and I praise them for that. The successor to this one, which is a blaster I've also got and has quickly become another favourite, is still cheap. It's still really easy to find one of them, and that's something else I need to point out. I kind of glossed over this. So, I live in England, and we only have to try and get stuff like this on eBay through online websites, basically. I learned that there's a store or kind of a shop line in America called Goodwill, which is basically a thrift store, charity shop sort of thing. I thought that was really cool, but we don't have anything like that in the UK. We do have charity shops, but they're filled with clothes and they're tiny. I swear to God, one of the charity shops most charity shops that I've been into are about the same size as this room. I swear to God, they're tiny. It's either clothes or furniture, and the furniture ones are like standard shop size. But yeah, we don't have the chance to go into a shop and find a toy one of these just on its own aisle, so that's a bit weird. Voice break. But yeah, if we wanted to find one, it had to be online only, and people would charge stupid prices. I paid a fair price for this one. I thought it was okay. Again, I bought this with the attachment and the 6-round magazine at a reasonable price, but it's annoying to see how people... I don't know if this is only a UK thing, because yes, because mentioning this back to the beginning, the 18 stick mags, this is the Raven one as well, but the standard orange ones that it came with the Stampede, people were charging £10 or like double digits for, which is so greedy. But yeah, all in all, this is a cool blaster. If you have one, cool. If you don't have one, just get what's it called? A Rapid Strike, that's it. You may as well get a Rapid Strike. You may as well get an Infinus. The new Infinus is out. That's a cool blaster. I've got one of them. It's such a cool feature when you get to put the darts in. That is something I need to discuss in the video as well, because that was quite the controversy. But yes. I've done this in one take. I'm actually really proud of myself. So, this is the second time I'm doing this video, but this whole episode has been done in one take. I'm going to have to chop a few bits and cut out some of the gaps, of course, but it's going really well. I'm actually really happy with myself. So that is my look at the Stampede ECS, pre-Elite, the best blaster of its time, but now one of the worst of its kind. People are going to disagree with me, and I'm pretty sure at least one bigger Nerf YouTuber is going to look at me and go, who the fuck is this kid showing up who does other stuff and decides to just do Nerf videos? What's this kid doing? Yeah. Things are only going to get weirder from here. So I'm actually going to try and charge my phone up and do another video straight after this one. So now that I've done this review video, for lack of a better word, I'm going to do a combo video as well. Obviously, big YouTuber Coop772 has done a series on this. However, I've kind of taken my own sort of ideas and rules for that sort of series. So I'll explain that in its own time. But for now, this has been a look at the Stampede ECS. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.